It's Studio One Think Tank with host Phyllis Haynes.
Remarkably, I've known Kristin for years, but I had no idea all the important actors she has helped to express themselves. From Patrick Stewart, of course, my favorite, Alfre Woodard, Donald Sutherland, just to name a few. We would be here all night. And you are known primarily for this extraordinary view you have about the use of the voice, as opposed to voice technique, working with the natural voice. So I want to start by asking you the first question. Don't you have a wonderful voice just because you're from Scotland?
You've rumbled me, yeah. It's not my training. It's my genetic background. Probably, I think rain and wind are very good for opening up the voice, opening up the throat, being in touch with nature and so on. I did, and it's true. I do have a family voice. The family is vocally pretty strong, I have to say. And I mostly work with people whose voices are not big and strong and rich and full of range. I mostly work with people whose voices have been scared into hiding. Little voices, hiding behind their noses, hiding in their jaws. It's very hands-on work because each individual has their own physical habits that I need to interfere with if we're going to change those habits. And those physical habits are usually to do somehow with protecting, with defending, with holding on. And the first place that people hold on is in their breathing area, so that these muscles get tight. And when these muscles get tight, then breathing is compromised from within. And I very often have to come round and put my hands on the belly and say, oh, couldn't you just let those muscles go and let the breath come down to this place? How does that feel? And people either burst into tears at that point, because when you start to breathe and you haven't been breathing for 10 or 20 years, it's amazing the stuff that may be locked behind those tense muscles. And sometimes they laugh, and sometimes they just say, that feels so much better.
Can you have an effect on someone who's had a bad habit for a long time?
Yes. I mean, the earlier you catch it, the better, obviously, because it's all to do with consciousness. Becoming conscious of what it is that you do and how locked in you are to those habits. But, anybody, everybody. I've worked with 60-year-olds, 70-year-olds, and I do the same thing with everybody. And most people enjoy the experience of relaxation. So, and it's very specific relaxation. It's relaxation of these central belly muscle areas, relaxation of the jaw, relaxation of the throat, in order to provide a wider channel. And it's such a pleasurable thing that people latch onto it quite fast, and age is not such a problem.
How would you contrast what your technique is to the standard voice techniques for theater development?
Well, I think that my ear is here. I have ears down here. So I hear with my body. And that my ear is not judging the result. My ear, my body is tuning in to somebody else's body and voice. And I only do this, don't worry, I only do this when I'm being paid to listen in this way. I'm not judgmental otherwise of people's voices. But I tune in as more than listening in any kind of critical way. And I think probably the more conventional ways of training say there is a specific result which we want you to get to, there's a way you should be speaking, there's a placement of your voice which you should be achieving, and we can call that right or wrong. So it's more a judgment of results, and I'm much more interested in the causes, causally, what is allowing the voice to reveal the person. That's what the voice is for, is so that we can tune in to the person behind the voice.
Women hold themselves back in expression more than men?
Oh, What do you think, Phyllis? You are probably a very free woman in your expression, but there's still a huge culture of silencing oneself as a woman in order to defer to the man's voice, in order not to scare the man. There is sometimes the sense that if I let my voice be deep and strong, that man's manliness is going to shrivel somehow, that it is much pleasanter to speak in a breathy, unconfronting tone of voice that says, you could look after me because I really don't know how to do that. Or one that still is sort of a little girl up behind the nose, and that won't threaten anybody, and it won't threaten the patriarchy in any way. Sorry to get political there. Yeah. So yes, I do think that there is still a lot that's happening with women's voices that could be opened up so that the intrinsic, the natural, easy power of women could be expressed more readily, more fully, and more in our civilization.
What is your desired working format? How do you like to work with people? In groups, individually?
Yes, I like groups. I'm a bit of a ham, and I love my students. I love my graduate students. They're intelligent, they're talented, they're greedy, they really want to learn. And at this stage, I've been teaching for 50 years, over 50 years. 53.
And around the world, not just...
Yes, quite a lot around the world. But I love coming back to Columbia University, the theatre program, School of the Arts, where I have these eager graduate students who want to go into the theatre, they want to go into movies, they want to go into television, and they have something enormously potent in them that is connected with a talent that has an artistic content, and they want to study the classics because I know if they get their roots in the classics, then they can open the door to tomorrow's theatre with ease.
When you travel back to Scotland, what do you do? What does Kristin Linklater do in Scotland?
I sit in my lovely little house with windows. Over there I look down to the lochs in the middle of the island. Over there I look over to the hills in the distance. Over there I look out to the cliffs and the sea, which is the Atlantic, and if I could see far enough I'd see Newfoundland. In front of me there are fields and cows and sheep, and there are seagulls, and I sit and watch the weather. It's a meteorological soap opera, and I thoroughly enjoy that.
You have, in addition to your wonderful self, a wonderful son.
Yeah.
Can you speak a little bit about him?
That was the best thing I ever did, yes, was to have my son. Proud single mother, I chose to I needed to have this child when I was 40, and I thought, if I wait until I'm a well-balanced human being, until I go ahead and become a mother, it'll be far too late. So I better go ahead and do it. So I did it. He's now a very good actor. He's in his early 30s, and he's been doing a sitcom. Some people may have tuned into it, which is now finished, called The New Adventures of Old Kristine. He's the slacker brother, and now he's a fantastic Shakespeare actor. He's played Hamlet twice, he's played Romeo twice. He was in Central Park this summer playing Bassanio to Al Pacino's Shylock. Shared the dressing with Al Pacino.
His name?
Oh, my son's name?
Yes!
Hamish Linklater.
Well, we'll use those wonderful words, Hamish Linklater, as a deep thank you to you, Kristin. Thank you so much for this.
It was such fun. I wish you the best of luck.
We wish you the best. Thank you.